Hey guys, enter the stars. We're going to continue along our line of the 88th episodes of all of the famous TV shows that we've seen over the years. From the patterns that we've established, we've seen 9/11, the Freedom Tower, and Barack Obama specifically. Now we're going to take a look today at the 88th episode of Seinfeld, I Love Lucy, The Cosby Show, Sesame Street, and Murder, She Wrote. This will be the first part of a two-part series. Now this is unbelievable. This is the Seinfeld episode, Season 6, Episode 2. This is the 88th episode, and it is called The Big Salad. And in this episode that aired on September 29th, 1 day and 20 years from the first case of Ebola that was diagnosed in Dallas, Texas, in the United States. 1 day off and exactly 20 years. And salad backwards. The name of this episode is Dallas. We'll be taking a closer look at this episode, I Love Lucy, the 88th episode. It filmed on February 11th, that's 22, and it aired on March 22nd, that's 3/22, that is Skull and Bones. And we know that 88 days before March 22nd was Christmas Eve. But more importantly, we see a Hawaiian vacation. And Barack Obama says that he was born in Hawaii. Now, follow me on this Hawaiian theme because you're going to see it continued again in the 88th episode of Sesame Street, which aired on 3/11. That was the date of Fukushima in 1970. And within this episode, Guy offers a choice of 3 prizes: a new house, a trip to Hawaii, or a cookie. They also showcase the letter O. O for Obama. The Cosby Show, 88th episode. It was episode 14. It aired in 1988. And the episode code is 411. That's 44. Barack Obama again. And finally, Murder, She Wrote. And they talk about the senator. And of course, Obama was the senator. It also aired in 1988, the 88th episode. We're going to delve into the details of some of these episodes. So first, we're going to take a look at some of the actors in The Big Salad, the Seinfeld episode. We have Marita Garrity. She is the exact same age as Obama, and she was born in Chicago, Illinois. Another Obama synchronicity. Her birthday is March 26th. That's really March 29th, the 88th day of the year, because 6 can always be 9. I want to take a quick note of the Cherry Clan. That's CC. In an earlier scene, we see Newman sitting next to a Coca-Cola canister. That's CC as well. Now, what does that mean? CC is 33. ABC is 3. And Obama opened the Freedom Tower on 11/3. That's 33 in 2014. Here's your N. That's 14. So that's 14 years after the opening of the World Trade Center. Building 7 was opened. And then 14 years later, which is the 28th, the towers would fall. Now this is Newman, and Seinfeld describes him as being pure evil. And if the word Newman is an interesting word, because if you write the name Newman down and then flip it upside down, it almost says Newman again. The N and the M and the W all seem to mimic each other when you flip these letters around. So try that on a piece of paper. Write Newman and flip it upside down, and it will say very close to Newman again, the mirror of it. And there's always a 911. Listen. So on to I Love Lucy. This was filmed on February 11th. That's 22. It was the 22nd episode. And it aired on March 22nd. That's 3/22. But it was also the 22nd episode of the 3rd season. So season 3, episode 22. So there's a 3/22 here, a 3/22 here, a 22 here, and a 22 here. And so what else would we expect with a show about I Love Lucifer? Ricky's Hawaiian Vacation. Let's take a look at this episode. So now that we have the background on 22, we can start to unpack this. Lucille, LL. That's like 2 1s. Ball, LL. That's 2 1s. So this also says 22. What is the significance of 22? Well, there are 22 years after the year 1979 that the World Trade Center fell. But also, the number 79 is the 22nd prime number. So now you can understand why Lucille Ball was born in 1911, which has 9/11, and that she died on the 116th day of the year, which is like 9/11 backwards and upside down. Now, anytime Obama goes to Hawaii, he plays golf at the Royal Hawaiian Golf Club. Now, of all the other places where Ricky could have played his band in Hawaii, listen.
Mr. Jackson of the Royal Hawaiian.
Obama was born in Honolulu, Hawaii. And this is the land of Goshen. Listen carefully. Now, in this scene, Lucy wants to go with Ricky to Hawaii, but she's got to raise money. So she goes on the Freddie Fillmore show. That's FF. That's 66. She goes on the show so that she can win a trip to Hawaii. So she brings the 66 Lucy, to Hawaii, right? That's Obama. So we already got the Egypt reference. Now listen to this part. Here's Ra, the Egyptian deity. Ra in rain.
Do this to your neighbors, aren't you? Neighbors? Oh, sure you are.
Wait just a minute. I don't know.
Of course you will. There we are. Now I think we're all set. Mrs. Ricardo, every time he says the word rain, you pull that cord.
Oh, okay.
You got the idea?
Yeah, I got it.
In this scene, Ricky has to sing his way to Hawaii. Listen. And you heard him say Chicago. So on to the Cosby Show, which opens with, of course, an 8x8 chessboard. He says 8 in a row twice. Listen.
That'll be checkmate, which means that would be 8 in a row. 8 in a row. Theo and his computer, 8. Dad and his brain, zilch.
First black president. Listen.
Ask me to set up an international literary society with me as the president, and then ask me who the vice president will be, and I'm not naming you.
The all-seeing eye atop the Illuminati pyramid, shining down its light. Listen.
Most of them were.
Well, when we were walking past the second floor, this door opened and I saw this eye staring at me. So I said hello, and the door slammed shut. I kept walking and I turned around and there was the eye again. Whew. I could feel rays from it just going right through the back of my skull.
Well, that's Mrs. Harris. She's very sweet. She's just a little shy around people she doesn't know.
Miss Harris, H, would never attack us with the hatchet, H. That's 88. Listen.
Vanessa, trust us. Mrs. Harris would never attack us with a hatchet.
She'd be too tired after she walked around.
This goes deep, you guys. Angela Bassett, born August 16th. Converted to Julian is August 3rd, one day off from Barack Obama's birthday. August 16th was also on the Georgia Guidestone Cube. Listen as she calls this woman the devil. Listen.
Whoa, Paula, you devil. You're not going out with him, are you?
Of course not. I'm looking for a much younger guy.
44, the 44th president. Listen.
Alvin, there's nothing on Channel 4 but fuzz and static.
Yeah, well, we don't get Channel 4, but Channel...
They go on to talk about a ring motif, R-I-N-G, And of course, we know the CERN, the Super Collider, Fermilab, all of these are rings, and the Fermilab rings form a figure 8, as do Brookhaven, accelerator rings, and other particle accelerators around the world. Listen.
Cliff, what did you think about the ring motif?
The ring motif?
I could really use some coffee right now, Cliff. Yes, Cliff, where did you feel it the most?
The water wheel and the circus. And then, not as obvious as the others, in the description of the silo.
The silo, I didn't think of that.
Well, see, it's not that obvious. And one that was really almost buried, I felt, was the wine barrel. The wine barrel on page 296.
And there's your 96, your yin and your yang, light and dark. And here's the Congress mention. Remember, Barack Obama was a congressman before he was president. And we saw this same Congress senator mentioned in the 88th episode of The Twilight Zone. And we're also going to see it in the 88th episode of Murder, She Wrote. Listen.
Rather bold statement, and the Congresswoman and her relationship with Arthur.
That fascinated me. What did you think?
Well, I felt that what the author seemed to be saying was that a woman can be equal to a man, but at the same time can fulfill a subconscious need to be rescued. And so, what I felt...
Michelle Obama went to Princeton University. Listen.
I went to Princeton. I could drop out of high school and do better than this.
Murder, She Wrote. And this is the big giveaway. Of all the episodes to talk about blacks in politics, this one, it becomes an issue. The 88th episode. Listen.
What adds up in this voter profile is that you're falling way behind among working women and blacks.
When our guy clobbers Kathleen, and he will, we're going to be taking on some extra staffers for the main event.
Does that mean that you'll be looking for a highly visible and bright working black female?
What do you think Kathleen took you on for, sweetheart?
I can't imagine.
And when people accuse you of apophenia or trying to find things where nothing exists, you can show them images like this. The 88th episode, and you see 88 on the door just before they come out.
Look, Kathleen Lane is news.
It's a split second. You're not meant to see it consciously. You're meant to see it subconsciously. And again, we hear Chicago, just like in the I Love Lucy episode, the 88th episode. Listen.
Computer does not recognize you. When do you say you made this alleged reservation?
Well, I made it last night in Chicago.
You
but
should
actually,
have a confirmation number.
Chicago, the black president. They knew all along. Watch. They show a black woman in front of the word Chicago. This is Miss Brown. Listen.
on the weekend that Bud Johnson and your wife spent the day at your summer cottage?
Miss Brown, I have total confidence in my wife's fidelity.
And this is Cass.
One for the home team?
Cass, Bud.
Bud, thank God.
Sounds like trouble.
You bet.
Harold just quit. What? We spent 8 weeks whining and dining with the best speechwriter in the country.
Darts on the dartboard at 8/16/2014. That is the date on the Georgia Guidestone Cube. Then he asks her, "Are you sure you don't want any coffee?" That's exactly what we saw in the 80th episode of the Cosbys as well. Listen.
You sure you don't want some coffee, Mrs. Fletcher? It looks lousy, but...
Oh, no, thank you.
Edmund Hall, Channel 8.
Yes, news at 6 and 11. I'm sure your broadcast tonight will be quite lively.
Full circle. Dallas. Salad. Listen.
Political beat puts people to sleep. It's dry, it's boring, they want to see Dallas, not slander.
But after molding you into David versus Goliath,
David versus Goliath,
they wanted a new angle for the morning edition.